What's up, everybody? Justin Hayes here from superhumanpursuits.com. Today, talking about self-myofascial release for kind of like the outer thigh area. IT band is a lot of times what it's referred to, but the area we're dealing with are kind of from the outer thigh here, from the knee all the way up into the hip region. And let's talk a little bit about the tools I use for this area. Two of my favorites. Obviously, rolling in this area is the most effective for me personally, rolling and ball work. And so the PVC roller or a foam roller substitute, and then the quad baller. So those two guys, nice for that area. Softball, lacrosse ball, talked about these guys before. As I mentioned in the past, this saw doesn't look like a softball. I actually removed the cover. It's a little bit smoother, kind of has a better feel on the actual muscle when you roll around on it. This guy is more focal than this guy. You know, he's more of a broad range treatment here. I'll show you different techniques with both of these. The lacrosse ball's tougher to use on the quad muscles, and you'll see why when I get down here. So, I've used the cane in the past, and to be honest, I don't use it on the IT band area and the outer thigh area, and that's because it's kind of tough to get leverage on that muscle. So it's kind of tough with this hand down here to apply a lot of force over there. But it can still be used, but I won't be going over techniques with it. I don't personally use it at all. I find a lot of these other tools way more effective. I do a bit of manual work with my thumbs or this, the knobbler, this guy, but to be honest, it's not a prominent piece in my myofascial release routine. So let me go ahead and head to the floor and I'll show you guys techniques. Alright, so first up is the PVC roller. As I've said before, the techniques I use with the PVC roller are interchangeable with the quad baller here. The difference being this has a more broad application. You can see it's thicker. This is a little bit more focal. At the same time, it has a little bit more softer material on here, and so the pressure's not quite as great. However, I do believe that the quad baller is as a progression from this, meaning I think it applies a little bit more pressure than this PVC roller does. So keep that in mind when you're using these techniques. So basically, the basic technique is to roll from knee all the way down, roll from the knee all the way up to the hip there on the side of the quad, the side of the thigh rather. And if you find something, you're sticking, right? Same as usual. And per usual, I keep this foot down as a brace, but if you want to progress, you kind of lift it up and apply a little bit more pressure that way, right? And it's more of an even further advanced technique. Sometimes when I find a spot I want to stick on, a trigger I want to stick on, I'll actually pull this leg up and use it to apply extra pressure by kind of pushing down from here into this region, right? And so, to take it kind of a step further, you can also pull your knee, you kind of pull your heel back towards your butt here, and that's going to allow you access to different areas, and it's also a little bit of progression as well. So you can pull that back just like that. And you can pull all the way back. You can keep your leg this foot down, or you can keep it up. And that's all going to kind of apply different pressures. So fiddle around with it. Try different techniques on your own. See what works best for you. The softball and the lacrosse ball, there's no special techniques. They're very similar to what I just did. The only difference being, as I mentioned in the intro, this is exceptionally more focal. So let's, I'll show you real quick. It's a little bit difficult to sometimes keep your balance here, but all you're doing is rolling just like you were with the PVC roller, but you're on the softball. And then the tricky part comes, it's almost impossible. It's very difficult for me personally to keep my balance and roll through roll all up and down that muscle while keeping my legs overlapped. But it is possible. And same thing applies with the ball as a PVC roller. You can kind of begin to pull your knee back, and that's going to give you access to different areas in that region. Check it out, try both of them, let me know what you think. The knobbler, like I said, I don't do a lot of hands-on work here. I just find it a difficult area to get pressure on, and I always prefer the external tools like the balls and the rollers. These almost kind of a waste of energy for me, but there are certain areas, actually more towards you get up in the hip flexors, where you can address things with this. But if you have a tight spot and you want to get extremely focal, use the knobbler and just kind of apply pressure in that area and just stick and hold. So that's all the techniques for that region. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Love to hear from you. I'll see you next time. If you have any questions, suggestions, or general feedback, please feel free to leave me a comment below. You can also get in touch with me on Twitter at Justin M. Hayes, Hays, or at my website, www.superhumanpursuits.com.